Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakar Kadash. Double honors to the elders for preaching His word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And I say shalom to you Akim out there. And this is a sit-down lesson that I want to bring out of this recent news article from Reuters.com from Asia Pacific. And this was a 1-minute read, updated an hour ago, published March the 15th, 2023 at 6:35 p.m. And it reads, North Korea launches missile ahead of a South Korea-Japan summit. And keep this in mind, I want to add a note that, with the recent of the first ballistic missile that was launched, I'll say almost close to a week ago, and then a couple of days later, and it was an additional 6 missiles was launched. Then, as of the day before yesterday, you had any additional 2 missiles were launched from North Korea. Now you have another missile launch from North Korea again. So this is like the 10th or 11th missile launch so far. And it's a combination of short-range missiles and long-range hypersonic missiles as well too. Right along with a ICBM missile launching as well too, as tensions, starting to stir up between North Korea and South Korea, which is North Korea versus Japan, South Korea, and the United States. And I read an article as well too earlier today. It had caught my eye, and I don't know if this is for certain, that South Korea and Japan, they was gonna have a meeting between one another so they can settle their differences as, being cooperation and allies with one another. They've been having tensions with each other quite some while, now they trying to settle their differences. So, I just want to add a note to that before I read this news article. So it reads, North Korea launches missile ahead of South Korea-Japan summit. And this is an actual photo right here. It says people watch a TV broadcast as news report on North Korea firing a ballistic missile into the sea off its coast. And this is Seoul, March 16th, Reuters, and it reads, North Korea fire a ballistic missile into the sea between the Korean Peninsula and Japan on Thursday, just hours before South Korea's president was due to fly to Tokyo for a rare summit expected to discuss ways to counter the nuclear-armed north of North Korea. North Korea has conducted multiple missile launches this week and amending the ongoing joint South Korea-U.S. military drills that Pyongyang condemns a hostile action. And it says in a statement on Thursday, South Korea Joint Chief of Staff said the North has launched at least one unknown type of ballistic missile off its east coast. And it says Japan government also confirmed the launch, and Japan's Coast Guard estimated it would land roughly an hour after it was fired, suggesting it was a long-range weapon such as an intercontinental ballistic missile, which is an ICBM. It says Yoon is heading to, I believe that's the president of South Korea. It says Yoon is headed to Japan for first such summit. Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, if I pronounced that name right, Excuse me about that. But continuing on with the reading. In more than a decade, part of an effort to overcome a historical, political, and economic disputes in the name of the better cooperations to counter North Korea and other challenges. And it says, as part of the efforts, the two U.S. allies have agreed to share real-time tracking of North Korean missile launches and has vowed to further deepen military cooperation. So, yep, bring out that Joel 3:10. And this is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 10, and it reads, beat your plowshares and the swords and the plenty hooks and let the weak say I am strong, right? So that's where you start to see the nuclear capability from North Korea. As the tensions starting to increase more and more and more between North Korea versus South Korea, the United States, and Japan, and North Korea is definitely increasing their nuclear capability and they're increasing their nuclear threat towards those countries that I just named of North Korea versus South Korea, Japan, and the United States. As they fire another missile ahead of the summit, which is about to come up, as the president of Japan flies over there to a summit. And I believe this is an update. This was 4 minutes ago, and it says North Korea launch at Lof Angle flew 1,000 kilometers kilometers before landing in sea, said South Korea. Yep. So with that, hopefully this sit-down lesson was edifying. I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, or Kakadash. Double honors to the elders for pushing his word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim scattered through four corners of the globe, pushing his word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And until next time, I will say shalom.